Pretty much exactly 24 hours since I wrapped up yesterday's vlog. The difference is M5's back inside, M5's clean. It was dusty when I started driving it and it's just glowing again. And this is before we get an application of CarPro Reload. I ran out of mental and physical energy today to do it, so that's going to be tomorrow. Compared to, that is the other Silverstone. Bit of a difference. That's car, if he's going to approve with even 2/3 of what I'm writing up for him today, is going to be undergoing a massive transformation. So hopefully we have that to look forward to. I delivered the MPI results today. We got the test drive done today. I got about 90% of what he's requested an estimate for, which by the way was absolutely everything. The last time that happened, it turned into a massive scale like anthracite. So let's hope we get another one of those here. But I've got most of it done. The rest of the items I have questions on, like this big brake kit. These are the stop techs. That stuff doesn't exist anymore. So seemingly, though I haven't done a 2-hour deep dive on the internet, but seemingly we cannot buy those pads and rotors anymore. So that kind of renders the kit useless once it wears out, and we're past that point on this car. After driving it today, 2 warm-up laps and then a bit of a hot lap towards the end, I noticed absolutely no difference. There's no performance gain over this $4,000 4-piston front, 4-piston rear brake setup. Now, if you go to the track and you thrash on the car for hours, of course I would expect a difference there. It's a much better engineered and designed braking system. It's going to handle a lot more abuse and heat. For daily driving applications, even aggressive road driving, I think it's a complete and total waste of $4,000. I've heard from many people that the biggest E39 M5 brake upgrade is the E65 master cylinder. I have that in my car. I love it, and I would agree with what I read online. But I started at 7 a.m. and went to noon. That got about 1/3 of the results done. Then I did another 3 hours earlier this afternoon, and then I couldn't even see straight looking at the screen so long, so I came out here and worked on the car and helped Alan on that car, which is really looking good. We're wrapping that thing up this week. And then I just went back in and did another 3 hours, and it's almost done. So my God, these estimates take forever. But interior's back together. The wheels have been refinished and reinstalled on the Sterling from Colorado. I don't think I've actually had an opportunity to film what this totally restored caramel interior looks like. This did not look like that, not even close. The rear seats had been dyed before quite poorly. None of the leather matched. It was cracking. There was wear in it. It actually looked pretty bad. It's lighting. This matches perfectly. This looks more yellow. I promise you it's the lighting. This is flawless during the day. The door panels have cleaned up beautifully. I mean, this is a 100,000-mile car that now looks like a 3,000-mile car. This door panel, I'm scared to touch it. Is the last caramel one in the world, brand new, freshly installed. The rest of the interior has been matched to that in terms of color. I'm afraid to sit in this car. I'm afraid to move it. I'm afraid to test drive it. It is so mint now. We're just going to have to be crazy, crazy careful. Brand new shift knob on there with a Ziploc condom. The center console tray was replaced today with a factory fresh one, so that's perfect. And wireless charging is there and wired. Uh-oh, condom came off. Now we're dealing with an issue with the trim. That hole all the way over on the far right without the clip in it. It's a real common E39 thing. The plastic back behind that gray vinyl breaks, and that means the clip that holds the trim flush against the dash doesn't snap in there anymore. It's a really thin piece of plastic. It's old and brittle, so we're going to try to get in there and plastic weld that and repair it. I don't know if that will be successful or not, but we'll come up with some way to keep the trim flush against the dash. Then the little piece over here with the TPMS button cut out, one of the pins broke off, so we're going to have to JB weld that back on. Can't buy that stuff anymore. Got a little bit of carpet cleaning to go still. Door sill needs to go back on. This door closes pretty hard. Like, you really have to slam it to get it to shut, and then to open it, too hard, and then a big click. So I had thought that I had fixed that by adjusting the striker plate on the B-pillar, but that's not been successful. So more work is required there. See, like, that definitely should have shut, especially with the window down. This thing actually left the shop today for the first time in forever. No, that's a lie. We took it out like a week ago and did a little drive, but before that it had been months. But it left today, got a smog check. I didn't ask if it passed, but he didn't tell me it failed, so I assume it passed. It's just getting a registration renewed. Let's see, this has been here for a while. It's the insurance claim card, new front and rear bumper, all that stuff's done. All we've got to do per the original scope which isn't original. We've gone through 3 supplements already, is pop the kidney grills in. He wanted the ones that look like F10 style grills, so they had to come from overseas on eBay. They're matte black. Those are going to go in tomorrow. Now we're on supplement number 4. He says the suspension condition is not the same as it was before the incident, so the adjuster's coming out tomorrow to get a look at the car. I sent him an estimate today, PDF estimate, to replace the entire front axle suspension on the car, less the struts and springs, which are Billy's and Dinan's and fairly fresh, but all the control arms, tie rods, idler pitman arm, stabilizer links are all original. They do not look nearly as bad as this car is to drive. You could let off the clutch and the steering wheel's just moving all over the place on you. It rips the wheel out of your hand at speed on the highway. It's not at all safe to drive. So we'll see what the adjuster says tomorrow. Then the 335i. This thing has been a nightmare to work on. The new axle would not go in the bearing. The bearing was damaged taking out the old axle. And by bearing, I mean hub. The bearing is actually press fit into the wheel carrier because it's an X-Drive car. And then the hub, I don't know, presses or somehow attaches to that. So we've got a new bearing in the original carrier, and we have a new hub ready to go. The new hub meshes with the new axle, so we'll get that cleaned up, put some more grease on there. Then all this suspension is going to go back together, and he may or may not need an alignment. This is what the old hub looks like with messed up splines and a whole heck of a lot of corrosion. It should look like this. Got to adapt the wires on this 2000 M5 for the new headlights. I have the adapters here. It's just a matter of finding time. When I write an estimate like this, it takes the entirety of at least one day, in addition to everything else on my plate. So some of this stuff just has to sit and wait until time allows. Hopefully we'll get to that tomorrow. Also tomorrow, like I said, I want to do the Car Pro reload on here, which will take about 30 minutes. It's not bad once it's clean like this. And then I have not touched the interior of this car beyond vacuuming and a basic wipe down. Now since the last Bimmerfest. That was the last time I did like a leather cleaning and conditioning. I have a full new interior for this car sitting inside, but no time or plans to put that in here in the short term. So the last Bimmerfest, I want to say, was 2018. We're coming up on 6 years now. That's neglect and abuse and should be punishable by firing squad. So really, I need to carve out some time to do the interior. 540's out front. I want to get that wiped down as well. We've got a banner weekend. It's the La Jolla Concours. We've got friends coming to town. I need some clean cars. So somehow I've got to find time to do that, maybe in between estimates again. I'm very tired and hungry, so I'm going to hit the road, Jack. Talk on Wednesday.